Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video here at tablemon. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's time for Charizard Bibarel. As you saw in the very cool thumbnail of this video, Charizard is now looking away from Pidgeot and turning its eyes onto Bibarel. Bibarel, the Industrious Incisor support, the synergy with Buddy-Buddy Poffin, did make a very big splash as soon as the format rotated, especially in Japan. We were hearing all about and seeing all about the City Leagues where Charizard Bibarel was doing so well. Now Charizard Pidgeot seems to have caught up, and I'm not surprised at all because Quick Search is just so powerful, but Bibarel does have its uses, is a pretty good card for sure individually, and has a lot of synergy with the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. We are still playing some V Pokemon in this list. This is one of the decks that did well, that won a City League recently. And I felt like the list had like a little sprinkling of everything, and that felt really nice and really powerful to me. And also was straightforward-ish. Has the reliance on the TM Evo as well to make sure you don't rely too much on the Rare Candy. So overall, I really like this list. Good old Charizard EX, of course, an incredibly powerful attacker. You have the anti-Sableye Charmeleon, along with the anti-Greninja Charmeleon with 100 HP, which both of which you can get through TM Evo. I did feel the lack of Skobet when playing with this list, so Skobet is like I would love to have Skobet. I love having Fish. Every time I've played Charizard without Fish, I'm asking myself, why am I doing this? Where is my Fish? I love my Fish. So even for Pidgeot, which the trend seems to be double Rotom, I've been liking the Fish quite a bit. And then we have Entei for a little bit of support. Could be Gouging Fire. The Entei, the fleet-footed, the early damage, the easy damage is pretty nice. I feel like it would be stronger if we had a Professor 2 run. You'll see in the games that I'm actually getting confused with all the Charizard decks that I've been seeing and playing with these last few weeks. And I thought I had a 2-row, but I didn't. But anyways, that's for the games that are coming up. Maximum Belt, our A-spec of choice to make sure that Charizard is hitting those big numbers. Prime Catcher, I feel like Prime Catcher is usually more suited for Bibarel because you don't have that easy just quick search for boss, play it, or quick search for counter catcher, play it. However, this is a version that had Maximum Belt, and Maximum Belt is also a fantastic card. Plus 50 damage to EXs, the metagame is all EXs now, of course, or most of it. So that plus 50 can come into play against Future Box, lets you knock out an Iron Hands before they've even attacked. Against Chien-Pao, lets you knock out a Chien-Pao before it attacks, so that way the Maximum Belt allows you to have the initiative, as opposed to always waiting for your opponent to put in work so that then you can put in work. And then the TM Devo helps in the mirror matches. Of course, the Charizard does seem to be extremely popular and can be situationally useful against Chien-Pao decks that are careless with the rare candies or overcommit 2 Excalibur into play, and then you TM Evo away, and TM Devo, sorry, away, and then if you manage to knock out the last Excalibur, they usually only play 3 rare candies, so no more Excalibur for the rest of the game, and that's usually game over. So lots of usability, lots of tools, even the Town Store is included. 2 ways to switch as well, but I think my words don't do the deck justice. Let's see it in action.
If you want to support the channel, you can use code tablemon to get 5% off at Town Store for your online codes, 10% off for your sealed product at Flipside Gaming, and 10% off on your aluminum accessories at TC Evolutions. Or if you're looking to buy singles or sleeves, you can fill up your cart and close the tab, then click on the affiliate link in the description and check out. That way you can support the channel over at TCG Player, Card Market, and Dragon Shield. ¿Eres de México y necesitas cartas de Pokémon? Busca Hyper Beam Cards en Facebook e Instagram. Y si estás en Tijuana, búscalos en el local C27 en el Centro Comercial Otay.
Alright, so off to a decent-ish start. Not the best, not the worst. We have Buddy Poffin, we have Charmeleon. We might rely on Fleet-Footed to really bail us out here. So we'll see. Alright, we are up against Ancient Box. Alright, so let's see what ends up happening here. Artazon, very appreciative of that Artazon. 1 energy would be fantastic, I feel. That way we can TM Evo into our Charmeleon and our Bibarel. Entei is also pretty decent at Pokemon to tank a hit and then dish 1 damage back. We have Rare Candy Charizard now, right? So let's go ahead and thin. I don't need more basics, but I do want 1 energy. 1 energy would be so insane off the fleet-footed this turn. That way I can just establish my Bibarel. Yeah, 1 energy. 1 energy. Maximum Belt, TM Devo, all of those tools will not be useful in this particular match, but that's okay. Alright, Town Store. Alright. Town Store fetches Forest Seal Stone, which fetches the energy, but I don't need the energy, but then I can't attach the thing, right, to the Entei. So I'm still gonna replace the Artazon, not give my opponent that research. They will be able to search for a tool, but I am okay with that. My Entei should never be going down. So I want to play the Forest Seal Stone and just pass. Yeah, and then I will react to whatever my opponent ends up doing. I could have also Lost Vacuum that way, the TM Evo. Kind of want to keep the Lost Vacuum in case I can't reach for a knockout on the Koraidon past the booster capsule. So we'll see. Yeah. Lots of things happening here, but yeah. Charizard Bibarel. Well, there goes the Bidoof. 1 Pokemon away. Alright, they do find the Flutter Mane, so they would have been 1 Pokemon away from knocking out the Bibarel with the previous hand. They knock out the Bidoof, that's okay. You know, that is generally a-okay. Only 2 cards in the Lost Zone. I feel like Entei will be able to take 2 prizes, which I'm very happy about. Just trading 2 for 2. Could also end up tanking the hit, which I also really like. I could save the Forest Seal Stone and use that to get the Professor Turo. All right. Let's go ahead and Rare Candy. I think I might be confusing my versions of Charizard. I've played so many different versions of Charizard in rotation. I don't think this one has Turo. I already forgot. But yeah. All right, I know a small mistake. I should have drawn first with the fleet-footed because I actually could use the energy. All right, well, that's incredibly lucky. And then we're gonna Arven. Go ahead and grab a Nest Ball. Actually, no, a Buddy Poffin. And sure, the Maximum Belt. Nest Ball is important to keep for Ratsard. Could thin another Pokemon. Don't hate it. They never get a benefit off of that, so I guess it's fine. Don't need the extra pen space either. And I don't have the knockout right now, so I will go ahead and remove the tool. Now they will be able to search for another tool, but Charizard can't take down everything and anything. So we still have our Star Alchemy. They should never be able to deal 230 damage this upcoming turn. They might not even be able to attack this upcoming turn. They haven't played a supporter, or they didn't play, they haven't played a draw supporter so far. So they would need exactly Sada and only Sada in order to attack with the active, or they would need Dark Patches and Dark Energies for the Moon. Attach, and there's the Sada. Okay, so doing everything in the wrong order, but they do have the Sada. They will be able to attack into the Entei, so I could end up just Forest Seal Stone for an energy to retreat. Like I said, I'm confusing my my Charizard versions, and I know I've been playing Professor Turo in the Pidgeot version. I don't think I have. All right, Jet Energy works. Jeez, I'm getting very lucky with the top decks. All right. I can establish Bibarel now as well. Got another knockout, which is fantastic. Would I ever want to knock out anything on the bench? I generally don't think so. not super threatened by this. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 next turn. Like, yeah, I think I'm pretty safe here. Don't need the maximum belt. I'm just gonna attach it for to maximize the draw of Industrial Incisors. We're gonna get an extra 4 cards, and Artazon, I mean, that doesn't really matter, right? So just gonna KO. I still have the Forest Seal Stone for whatever I might need in the future, and I'm about to get another prize card, so things are looking very good. And Ancient Box, it's a good deck for sure. It feels a step below. Yeah, it feels a step below than Charizard, it feels a step below than Qianpao, feels a step below Lugia, and feels a step below Future Box. So maybe we might get more ancient Pokemon, right? In the future, more different versions. I feel like we're due for a very powerful Flutter Maniacs at some point, just because of how powerful the Pokemon actually is in the video game. So maybe there's something for that. All right, they chase down the Entei, which is fair, right? Puts them ahead, gets them to prize cards, makes my Iono stronger, which I'm very happy about. I have my Bib, I have Artazon, which I don't think I mind them having at this point. Though, maybe not. The Town Store is definitely better for them to have. Because the tool doesn't make any difference. Charizard just takes KO, 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 KO on anything. There is a possibility that there is a Roaring Moon EX from my opponent, so I do have to be on the lookout for that. But of an Iono to 3, I feel like it's going to be very difficult for them to actually do something like that in response, and then that will allow me to catch up to them and actually possibly get ahead. That's just an amazing top deck. I never did use my Forest Seal Stone. Don't think that matters too much. Putting back the Bidoof so I can possibly get another Bibarel. At this uneven prices, I'd rather try and force them to go through 2 Charizards than actually utilize their Radzard at any point. I might even tank a hit with 1 Charizard and just have it safely-ish on the bench. So I will thin all of that, and then we just go Iono. Yeah, like, I'm behind in prices, sure, they've been aggressive, sure, they knocked out my Entei, sure. Not really too worried at this point in time. I get the other Bidoof to possibly establish another Bibarel. I don't think there's a tool left, right? Yeah, there's no tools left. So far so good. I have the follow-up Iono in case they manage to pull something amazing, like even Roaring Moon, you know, even if they use Roaring Moon EX here and they knock out my Charizard, it's like, all right, KO you back with my 333 Pokemon and Iono you, right? And then generally that should be very difficult for them to close out the game. They would require a lot in order to close out a game like that. So we do see the Artazon. Could see another Koraidon, not that big a deal. Alright, it's just another Roaring Moon, Nest Ball, Recruit Ninja. That gives them a little bit of extra draw, I guess. They do find the Explorer's Guidance. That does mean they can't Sada now. So they rely 100% on Dark Patch. Not a single ancient thing was discarded there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 ancient cards. They whiff the turn. Now, I know they have Boss's Orders in their hand. I would really appreciate them not going Boss's Orders on my Bibarel to stall for a turn, so I'm just gonna Iono away that boss. Could have saved the Iono for a better potential situation. I think this is good enough. I do have to be careful with my energies. There is a universe where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 2 energies left exactly. So there is a universe where they could potentially go boss and trap me at some point. So I need to be aware of that. And that definitely encourages me to tank a hit and then retreat and have those energies available in the deck or in the discard pile so I can super rot them back and I have access to attach them anywhere I would need to. So something important to note. I have just enough energies, but like, for example, if if they went like, if I went attached to Bibarel, I don't know. If I have all 8 energies in play, then I can't recover any energies, right? So there's value in having energies in the discard pile, for sure. All right. So Professor's Research. 5 cards left in their deck. That's crazy. That is actually crazy. All right, I guess now is when I would attach to the Bibarel and retreat. And worst comes to worst and they KO the other Charizard, that's completely okay. I have another Charmeleon and Charizard ready to go, so... I mean, I don't think it matters. They would deck out first, right? So I don't even have to worry about that. I think I'm overthinking this. It's just attack and call it a day. There's no win condition they have anymore. And I think they're coming to the same conclusion, and that's why they either rage quit or they're taking their sweet time to figure out exactly what to do. But I think we are good to go. All right. So yeah, just KO. So far so good. I was definitely confusing. I don't think I have Turo. I don't think Turo is my last prize card. And you might run it. But tablemon, didn't you just make didn't you just explain the deck to us before starting this battle? Well, no. For some reason, well, not for some reason, because the PTG Live deck builder is so bad and so awful, I always, after I'm done with the video, I take the list, put it on Limitless, download it, put it on the other scene where it has a nice background, moving stuff, edit the cards in, etc., talk about the list. So I completely blanked out the fact that this version is not playing Professor Turo. It's actually the Pidgeot version of the deck. And yeah, we're just waiting. I'm pretty sure my opponent rage quit once they realized. That's why we're having to wait for them to promote. So we're just waiting to have a turn, click, and win. So yeah, I wasn't too worried about falling too far behind. My starting hand was mediocre, but we were able to top deck out a bit. The Artazon helped in being able to bench 2 Charmanders. We got some pretty decent draws off the fleet-footed, so it was all looking pretty good. And yeah, please don't do this. Yeah? It's just wasting the other person's time. Just concede. It's not that difficult. It's 2 clicks. It's the same amount of clicks to, well, it's 1 extra click to close out the app, then to go settings, concede. Yes, I guess it's 2 extra clicks. All right. Come on, any day. Any day now. Any day now. Any day we'll get our turn. There we go. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, since I am going second, and this metagame is very threatening, of KO and very aggressive, just as the previous one, starting my Manaphy because I can recover it if I need to, but I'd rather not lose either of my Charmanders or Bidoofs. Now my opponent starts Bidoof. This could be Chien-Pao, could be a mirror match as well. We'll have to see. It's actually neither. It's, oh my god. It's Oinkolon. It's what? Alright, well, I guess we'll see what happens. Definitely not a matchup you would expect to hit at EUIC or otherwise. See the Skwovet. Is it Skwovet or Skwovet? I actually don't know. Alright. Pretty decent draws, all the basic search we could possibly want. This is where we miss not having our good friend Rotom, but thankfully we do have Bidoof. Alright, benching double Bidoof in case my opponent ends up knocking out one. I'm not happy that I only have one Charmander I mean, that I priced a Charmander, but it is what it is. So I'm thinking Radiant Charizard plus the geez, I can't speak today. Plus a Maximum Belt could be important, or just a Maximum Belt in general might allow me to get some KOs that I otherwise would not be able to. For now, just gonna pass it here, see what this deck is all about. Yeah, so a lot of improvisation gonna happen in this game. Alrighty. Need to see another Artazon. I didn't get the third Charmander. I want to keep that bench space open in case of Lumineon, in case I need Entei, in case whatever I need, Radiant Charizard. For now, I think it's okay to wait. All right, Mist Energy, Ultra Ball, more Mist Energies. There's the Bibarel. Are we evolving the active? Nope. Evolving the bench. We could see a Hyper Fang for 10 damage. Probably not, but we could. All right, there's Oinkolon EX. And 10 plus 30 for each of your bench Pokemon. Yep, that's unfortunate. And then flip a coin if tells during your next turn this Pokemon can't attack. So they're going to be doing 160 damage. That's not enough to 2-hit KO a Charizard EX. So they're going to be taking 3 hits to knock us out. And honestly, that's fine. I don't have the guaranteed Charizard yet, which is less than ideal. That doesn't help my case really. So the fact that it's always a 3-shot, right? I'm not miscounting. Is it bench or Pokemon in play? Yeah, bench. So it's 160, so it's always a 3-hit KO as far as I'm aware. So I'm just gonna burn the cards in my hand. Try to get the most use out of this Bibarel. We're looking for a Candy or an Arven. Shouldn't be too hard, but sometimes establishing a stage 2 feels like the hardest thing in the world. There's the Arven. Pretty happy with that. That's all we need. There's the Rare Candy. TM Devo is also possibly good. So I'm gonna grab the TM Evolution so I don't reveal either TM Devo nor any sort of Maximum Belt, which if you're up against Charizard Bibarel, you have to expect either Maximum Belt or Prime Catcher. All right, both are very good for Charizard. Prime Catcher is a little bit preferred, I think, for the Bibarel versions of the deck, because you have you don't have a direct way to search for boss like you do with Pidgeot, so then you can Arven for the Prime Catcher to have that searchable boss. However, the plus 50 can be so important in so many matchups, right? So that's part of what you have to consider. All right, double Bibarel, triple Oinkolon. This Govet finds the Sharon Care. That's to be expected. The Rigid Band reduces 30, so we're doing 180. It's still a 2-hit KO, so this is just going to be an incredibly grindy battle. Possibly against 4 Sharon Scares. Possibly, right? However, the longer the game goes on, the stronger I become, right? And they don't seem to have any way to increase their damage output. We're gonna go ahead and evolve, draw 3 more cards, not too bad. TM Devo, Boss. Boss is tempting, but I kind of like just pressuring. Another strategy you could go for is like Boss Bibarel, and then you're a happy camper. Now that I think about it, maybe that would have been a better play, potentially. Because then they might not be able to Sharon Scare, right? I mean, clearly they still can, right? But we'll see. That's 2 Sharon Scare out of how many do they play? That's the question. 4? Is it 4? Is it more than 4 with Pal Pads? How many Pal Pads? There could potentially be how many? 4 Pal Pads? That's 8 extra. There could be 12 Sharon Scares. Plus Professor Turos in the near future for me, so not sure. Alright. Each Charizard is 3 turns though. And then after this Charizard goes down, I'm gonna be hitting for 270 damage, which coincidentally is a perfect maths, right? So I think we'll be okay. Well, it's perfect past the Heroescape and the Rigid thing, so this is fine, this is fine. Alright, I'm giving up on TM Devo, at least for now. Let's grab the Charizard. I have 2 more Arvens, the Lost Vacuum's there, the Maximum Belt is there. In order to get past this one, I need one or the other. In order to get past this one Cologne, I just need the Maximum Belt. Although, saving the Maximum Belt could be cool for the Ratsard as well. Although making them go through 3 Charizards is probably my best bet at this point in time. Alright, we're gonna keep the 4 Steel Stone and the Super Road. I want to use Super Road after this Charizard goes down. Lumineon and 4 Steel Stone both guarantee that I'll be able to knock out whatever Oinkologne is active, probably for the next 2 turns. So, do I smell a comeback? Right? Because if at any point they go down to 1 prize card, then that's it, right? It's gone. I think the Heroescape is the only thing that could stop a fully powered up Charizard from taking a knockout without a Maximum Belt. So just getting rid of that and Lost Zoning it seems pretty powerful. That's a 3rd Sharon Scare, which when they're looking at potentially, I mean, they haven't needed to do it, but when you have Bibarel, Skwovet Bibarel, potentially like 6 to 8 new cards every turn, it's to be expected a little. Still pretty crazy though. They haven't needed to do anything and they just had them stacked in their hand. Sharons. So we'll see. We'll see. There's the Mist Energy. So I think the plan here is going to be Arven, Lumineon for Arven for Lost Vacuum. There's a Palpat, yeah, which I was talking about, so we definitely don't want to deal with 12 Sharon Scares. And yeah, so far so good. Like, it doesn't look like we're good, but I think we're okay. I generally think we're okay. Yeah. Just Charizard, put Charizard cards back. Useless bosses orders, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Just get back the energies. Alright, so it's gonna be Lumineon for Arven, for Lost Vacuum, and Maximum Belt. Not gonna play the Maximum Belt just yet, because... oh no, actually I will. Never mind. What am I saying? I absolutely am going to play the Maximum Belt this turn, otherwise I don't get a knockout. I'm doing 270 damage now. Now it's 320, minus 30, 290. That is more than enough to get this KO. I get a few extra cards. No need to worry about about Heroescape anymore whatsoever. Have Ultra Ball for potential future Charizard. We got our first 2 prizes, and this should start either a 3 or 4 turn clock where we just finish the game, because Oinkologne is just not good enough against Charizard. And this is something I've been talking a lot with the people that I coach. There tends to be like certain benchmarks, especially in a new format, where it seems like it's a little bit more centralized towards Charizard. So if your deck cannot be Charizard, probably don't want to bother. you know? It's probably not a worthy deck to take to a League Cup or a League Challenge, and definitely not for a regional and an international. And that seems to be where we are at right now. And you said might change things, but we have barely started talking about and playing with this one. So we see an Iono, Lost Vacuum from my opponent. Could be problematic if they play Lost Vacuum and the thingy, the rigid band, right? That is the combination of cards that helps my opponent stay alive next turn. So hopefully they don't get it. If they do find it, we could go, and they do. Well, they find one, no Lost Vacuum yet. If they do, we could still go take the hit and then go Counter Catcher, the Oinkologne, and then wait until they take one more prize card, and then the next Charizard EX seals the deal. But they did not. So now all I need to worry about is just establishing another Charizard, right? One Charizard, a lot of Ultra Balls did go to the bottom of the deck, so we're just gonna shuffle here. I know it doesn't matter, right? They have double Bibarel with Scobit. It also doesn't matter to me as well. I find the Ultra Ball, and then I have Switch and Jet Energy available in case my opponent tried some sneaky stalling tactic to prevent me from winning the game. That's not gonna work, so we are good to go. And I can't foresee how my opponent could possibly win this game at this point, honestly. I really don't. 3-hit KOing Charizard, like that alone might be the bigger issue. Not that Charizard's KOing you, but it's like at worst, Charizard takes 2 turns to KO you and you take 3. So no matter how much you're healing, you can't out heal that difference of power. And if you play something that increases your damage output, you're not playing the tools that either increase your HP or reduce damage, and therefore you are in a lot of trouble against Charizard. And there we go. Yeah, so Oinkologne, like I said, not the most competitive deck, definitely fun, right? So props to my opponent for using it, but so far Charizard is the benchmark. If your deck cannot be Charizard, probably need to go back to the scrapbook and find something else that can at least go toe-to-toe with the Charizard. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you liked the thumbnail. I really love the art of this one in particular, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.